What is up, y'all? What is up? Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody, and today my guest will be none other than Mirlene. But right now she's busy getting some stuff done, but she's going to join me momentarily. So, the topic of today, when she does come on the show, we're going to talk about a little bit of history lesson because Mirlene's been around a while, right? Like she was a teenage sensation but took time off. She has kids now. She runs a business, and now she's starting to, get back into things. And we're going to ask her those questions when she gets on the show. But I just want to say that, this is not her first rodeo, so it's real exciting. Also, we'll be touching base on her super match coming up December 6th, Washington State Championships. And I'm telling you that I'm excited. And I'm going to butcher her name. Carolina Pedersen out of Sweden, right? Now, let's be real. Anytime, and I mean anytime that you have a U.S. athlete, doesn't matter, man, woman, child, whatever, and they compete against someone from a different country at a high level, you know who I'm rooting for. In fact, I will be in her corner. She asked me, I said, no problem, I got you. So I'll be in her corner for that match. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that anytime you have somebody from the American taking on somebody from a different country, this is where, hey, opportunity knocks, got to open the door, right? This could be huge. This could be big. I mean, anybody, so let's get behind her and cheer for her, yo. All right. Candy Pass was in the house. She says, like the shirt. Thank you very much. Scott Evans is in the house. Everybody, don't forget to hit the like button because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a good interview. I'm excited. I told her I was going at 12, so I said just jump on, do what you got to do, get food for the kids or whatnot. Just hop on when you're ready. So right now going live is Ingen. He has Jerry Cutter at Levon. Doesn't mean you got to leave my show to go watch that, but I'm just letting you know he is live right now. So other than that, though, I have to say this. Washington State. Now, Tim Tomach, Orange Sports Entertainment, Kayla Tomach, they put on 2 events a year, mainly, right? But one of them will be in Washington. That's where he's originally from, right? So you figure, one of the premier organizations out there, the talent pool that comes there, okay? And we know anytime you have a Tim Tomach event from Orange Sports Entertainment, they're going to bring in some heavy hitters. Doesn't matter what weight class, whether it be super matches, tournaments, whatever the case may be, they're going to bring in some heavy hitters, right? So let's be real here. Anytime you got somebody, we'll just use, for example, James Wall, right? Western Europe, guys coming from United Kingdom and England, mind you. He's making the trip over here. And if you haven't seen it, my teammate Nano Cruz put a short promo out there. Look him up. Puller TV. Look that up on YouTube because in the shorts section, he had a clip. They're putting it out there. So I'm glad, Last week I had Katie Hankey and Elizabeth Mosaic on the show. And we talked about their upcoming super match also at Washington State Championship. So I'm telling you right now, this is a good event. You should be there. Friday night, the super matches will take place. Okay. Saturday, dual tournament. What is a dual tournament? Glad you asked. So I'm going to tell you. So we all understand Corey Miller, Frank Callahan, they got those guys run the Aries system, right? Now, this will be the 3rd or the 4th edition of the Aries Super Series. I was glad to be a part of the first one, back in March earlier this year. So now we're at this one, 198-pound class, okay? So you guys in the 198-pound class, sign up, get it going because that will take place early Saturday morning. Now, I want to say 9 o'clock, maybe 11. And by that time, that will be when, guess what? That'll be going on as the tournament for Washington State goes ahead and registers. But enough about that now because I'm going to bring on my guest. The show, what is up?
What is up? Trying to set it up. Technical difficulties. How are you?
I am good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing okay.
So how you feeling about this? Because before you got on, I kind of gave everybody a landscape about what's going on and what to expect.
Oh
Anytime.
gosh.
Oh, we are.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
it's
I'm here.
okay
I'm here.
because guess what? We don't do second takes on my show. We just roll with it. Okay. So before you got on, here's the
Hold on, I
thing.
can't even see you. Where you at? Let me see. There you go.
I'm right
Okay.
here. I'm right
All
here.
right. Okay. You can
Katie
see
Marie
me?
wants to send a comment. Oh, I can see you. One of
Okay.
your friends, Katie Marie, wants to send a comment. She says it won't let her. I don't understand why.
Love Katie. Love you, girl.
So anyway, before you got on the show, I was telling everybody, anytime you have an American athlete take on somebody from a different country, this is where we got to get behind y'all. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure.
you got a lot going on upcoming months. But before we get to that, I want to touch base on your early career because I got this hunch, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, by all means, correct me. This ain't your first rodeo because some people out there may think you only been in the sport for a few months or whatever, a few years. However, back in the day, a 16-year-old Mirlene whooping ass, the queen, right, of New York, back when you were taking on the likes of Cindy Looney, Joyce Boone, the list goes on and on. Tell everybody what happened back then, and then you took a pause, had a family, now you got your own business, and now you're trying to get back into the sport. Start from
Yeah.
the beginning. Let's hear it.
Oh man. After school program. Michael Celieris, champion, starts an after school program. I think it was 11th grade. I go and he hosts some practices at the school, and I go there and I do pretty good. I win a couple times, things like that. Then I go to my first tournament, I think '04 that summer, and I lose. I take second. And I was never used to losing. Like I was in a specialized school, everything was advanced. You know what I mean? Like I was always used to number one, top grades, top everything. And then I took two, and I was like, two? What is this? That's foreign to me. So I was like, oh, I better take this seriously and start training and stuff like that. And then the next year I competed again, and what you may call it, took first, but the itch had began. Like it was just like, now I need more, you know what I mean? And when
Right.
Celieres was traveling and he's training with big people, I was, traveling to practices and meeting up with like Christian Binney and them, and they were all going to these big tournaments where what you may call it, they were like facing like Celieres always had a thing with Badgett, you know, uh, the other guys had stuff with like Ron and Tim. Like they always had like these big tournaments coming up, and I even remember one that was at a casino that I traveled with them. I think that was the one where I met John for the first time. But I was too young. I couldn't even get into the casino. I had to stay in the hotel room while they went and competed. So I was around some pretty cool people, And then I arm wrestled for a few years, continued going to practices. Would get to practice with like Sue Fisher and them out in like, out with them out there. Traveled a bit, competed a bit, and then I got pregnant and took a whole, you know, 11-year break until Miss Passmore decided to call me out in a match for Carnage. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh man, I guess let me see if I can still do this. You know what I mean? And I did it, and it was like, it never happened. I always wanted to get back into the sport, but I was just like, oh, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been out there. And even when I was competing and I was winning and beating these people, it was always like, yeah, but did you beat that person? Did you beat that person? And I was just like, well, I don't know if I could get back in. But then I went to a tournament and I had all of the great people like Dusty and Christian Benny and all of them, so many people that were like, we're so glad to hear you're back. We love you. You've always been great. You got this. The sport needs you and stuff like that. And I lucked out and asked, I forgot who it was that I asked about if there was anyone who pulled in South Carolina.
Right.
And I was going to Anderson for, I think, a few practices. And then I was linked up with, at a tournament, the honky tonk, with the captain, Adam. And he helped elevate me to like a whole nother level because his training regimen is like unheard of. I always tell him he needs to patent it. Like I'll be his manager, and he patent the workouts and put him out there because it took me to like a whole nother level in a short period of time. And then the palmetto pullers, the people that I train with right now, the my bros over at Chaos. Like I've been so fortunate to always somehow be around amazing people in the sport. Like I'm always training with maybe one or two females if I'm lucky, but I'm always training with guys, and the guys are top level, top notch guys. It's just been meant for me, you know what I mean? So it's like I've loved this sport. It saved my life so many times through illnesses, accidents, all these things. Always gave me something, even motherhood, always gave me something to try to get back to. I got to get back to arm wrestling. I got to get back to arm wrestling. So it's kind of like a way of life, you know what I mean, that I've known for so long, and I've just been pulling and pulling and pulling and trying to reach those goals, because it's the one thing I've carried with me. So hopefully hitting those goals soon, you know what I mean? This year and last year has been really great. I'd say this year especially because I've had so many cool people give me amazing opportunities. The high five, guys with knuckles up, Tim right now with this match, Carolina just honoring me with this, that super monster honoring me with this opportunity. Like I appreciate it all, you know what I mean? Just trying to ride it all the way through
Okay,
and give
so
it all I got.
let's talk about that for a second. Carolina, right? And she's like the cream of the crop, right? And now
Listen,
you get the opportunity to pull her. So tell me,
insane.
tell me what's going through your mind as you prepare for this match.
Insane, because everyone, I don't know, they might see me and they'd be like, oh yeah, Mirlene wins all the time, Mirlene did it. No, Mirlene has never been that kind of person. Mirlene has always been like, any day is her day, that she cannot be her best self, anything is possible, you know what I mean? And when I was younger and I first started, I think it was the second year in. I think you shared that one of the photos on your post, the one where I was in that gray jacket. That
Yeah,
woman, I broke her arm. It was the first time that I had like really given everything I got, because I was like, oh my god, it's an older lady. She's bigger than me. I got to give it all I got, and I broke her arm. And ever since then, I pulled different to
right.
protect myself as well, but to also protect other people. And then when I started going to, the honky tonk and pulling with chaos and stuff like that, and, getting to pull more people, especially coming back into the sport, because I told myself, hey, you're a mom, you pushed out a child, so now you're strong. You're as strong as the women you used to pull in the past. I was always still protecting people, you know what I mean? So it's been hard trying to transition into like like these women got, you know what I mean? The guys were laughing at me at practice yesterday, or I think was it yesterday, Sunday, yeah, because I was like, guys, I don't have a scream. Like everybody knows I'm just quiet, and I try to be fast, but all the great people got screams. Carolina, she's like, ah. Sarah was like, ah. Like they got like screams, and I got to tap into that fire. So now it's like I have like one of the biggest opportunities of my life, one of the biggest matches of my life. You know what I mean? A real true testament that'll show me where I line up, because I haven't, because of work and kids and everything like that, I haven't had the luxury as other people have had to travel and be outside and, pull a million Europeans and all the great people and stuff like that. I've just been able to do what I can and travel where I can. So this is just like a real good testament of like, hey, all right, like, you know, so many people say you're on this level. Are you
Right.
really on this level? How bad do you really want this? How bad are you really going to go after it? All those times you sacrifice, the fitting in the gym with the momhood and all that stuff. Like, how bad do you really want this? How bad do you really want to succeed in something that you've committed so many years to? You know what I mean? That you've killed your body day and night to. So this is really exciting for me because it comes at a later stage in my life. I'm older. I'm hitting that, John Brzezinski age. He's always been killing it, but at 40, it was like a power up. I'm like, okay, I'm approaching 40. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like all these times you look crazy in the gym, got to add up for something, but I just got to tap in and get that fire. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm hoping shows itself on that match with Carolina, because she is a fireball. And I'm so honored that she's even graced me with this opportunity. Tim, everybody that's supporting me, I'm so grateful. And I'm really just going to give it all I got because I have to. I have you guys, I put in the work, and we'll see what happens.
Well, speaking of honor, speaking of opportunity, case in point. Now, the high five guys, all right? They said they couldn't be happier to see Mirlene to continue to get well-deserved attention. Honored to be
I
a
love
part of the
them.
family and having a part of the Knuckles Up family. So there you go.
Listen, love you, love them, unofficial KU female athlete representative. I'ma just keep saying it till they let it happen. Everyone in this side of town at work, everyone knows Knuckles Up because I wear the same shirt and hoodie almost every day. Like I love those people. They are like all the people that supported me in the past, but they were the first ones to be like, "Yo, we're gonna bring you out here and treat you like a athlete who's been busting her ass for years." And I always love them for it. And they even tapped into my love for culinary. I love them. I love them.
There
They
you
can
go.
do no wrong. I love those
But,
guys.
and by the way, since they're watching, don't forget January 26th, or 25th, sorry, January 25th,
25th, yeah.
Knuckles Up 5. So this is a monumental because the high five guys, Knuckles Up 5, big things. The card's already out there. Take a look on their website. Follow on Instagram, Facebook, what have you.
They're the
I gotta
best.
give me one of those Knuckles Up hoodies. I'm gonna have to do that.
Oh, they're so fire, so warm, and so, man, everybody at the gym been seeing it. Like I just be like, yeah, can't nobody tell me shit about my weird looking workout because I'm a Knuckles athlete. I mean Knuckles Up athlete representative. Okay, so can't nobody tell me nothing. Love those guys.
Now, speaking of which, and we don't want to overlook Carolina, but you go from December and then the following month, New Jersey, Knuckles Up, and you have an opponent from Tokyo. Yes, no?
Yes, Japan, another world champ, another beast. Except this is even like it's like they're both fire beasts. Cause Carolina, she's a fire monster who just breathes fire and is so awesome at her craft. And then this one is awesome at her craft, but I can't find nothing on her. So it's like, oh, it's a real test. You know what I mean? So I'm not even sure what to train. So I'm just training everything. You know what I mean? Trying to have like multiple lanes to see, what scenario I'll end up with.
And you know what? I'm excited for you. I could tell you're excited, but I'm really trying to hammer home something. I really think you need to grasp what's in front of you because your next two outings are against top
Big
level
deals.
international pullers. So I really
Yep.
want you to grasp what's going on. Okay. Seriously. I mean, because again, it's not every day someone gets an opportunity like that to pull on an international level. And you
Yep.
do. You got two stages.
Phenomenal.
Arm Sports gave you an opportunity because it's about opportunity. I've told you this, right? We've had talks
Yeah.
about opportunity, right? They've given you a platform. Hey, you're in Carolina, make it happen. And the month after that, the high five guys at Knuckles Up gave you a platform. Hey, you take care of business over there. So I don't think you understand what you got going on, but you really, as Cobra Rose says, #focus. You really got to focus because it's not every day someone gets that kind of opportunity. So you really got to make it count. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. I agree with
Now,
you 100%.
and just to go back earlier in the year, the ladies round robin that took place this spring. I think it was back in May, I think, right? And I've always said this. I've said this on previous shows before, and I would say this, there was a handful of women that did not make the trip. And I always said, had those ladies made the trip, might have been a different outcome. Who knows, right? It would have been interesting to see if Elizabeth Mossad made the trip, what would happen? It would have been interesting to see if Nadia made the trip, what would happen? But you do what you do. You show up, win, all the rest of them, the details, okay? Now, going forward, 2025, like you said, we already kicked things off in January with Knuckles Up. What do we see beyond that? I know you got Alabama States in February, yes?
Yes, and I have some secret stuff brewing for March and possibly April. So, but we're gonna see,
Can you
how
talk
that
about
turns
that?
out.
Can
I
you talk or
cannot,
no?
I cannot. But let's just say, when you mention those names, you might be seeing something going on amongst those names. So, everything happens in its timing.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of which, for myself, I'm hoping sometime in maybe August or September, I might be involved in something. Wink, wink. They know what's up. I'm gonna let that be. So, what they say? Yes, previous world champ Yoshiko. I cannot pronounce the last name. Coming out of
Okay.
retirement to show that Japan has more monsters ready to fight. So you got your hands full. No matter,
Oh yeah,
no
I
doubt
know
about
it.
it. And I
I
think
know it.
because the fact that you don't have any footage on it, right? Cody Merritt's a big fan. Mirlene is a badass, and she is so supportive of her fellow pullers. Love her to
Yeah, I
death.
love you, Cody.
You
Love
got
you more,
the
bro.
fans behind you out there. So do you feel any kind of pressure when you got these matches lined up?
Of course, I feel tons and tons of pressure. But pressure is what I thrive under. And how I view it is, worst case scenario, even if I was to it not go my way, I still take and learn from it. Like, I'm definitely not the same puller that I was January of this year. I've been doing a lot of different training. I've been pushing myself more, doing things I haven't done, which, I think we saw part of at the round robin. But all those things are things that contribute to the final piece. So all this pressure, I love it. I need that pressure. I need to, when I'm in my head, be like, you have people behind you, people that believe in you, that always have. Push yourself. You got to believe in you, which I do.
Right.
It's just daunting because these are like finally the matches and stuff that I've always wanted, the opportunities I've always wanted, and now I can actually make it. So there's no shoulda, woulda, couldas. You know what I mean? Like, when I was first offered the match with Carolina, at first, I was like, no, because I had broken my thumb like a month ago. That's crazy. Why would I pull Carolina when I broke my thumb? But then I said, Merlene, you have never turned down a match just because you thought you might lose. You've never turned down a match to turn down a match that you can make it to. So I was like, hell no. I'm going to give it all I got and see what that is. You know what I mean? I'm going to train with this broke thumb. I'm going to keep pushing because that's what I do. Pressure and adversity is what I thrive under. That's what I feel like is represents American women. We got obstacles. This isn't an everyday thing. Sometimes it's not taken seriously. But when we take something seriously, we go hard for it. We don't turn down things. We're not worried about, am I going to win? Am I going to cherry pick at opponents I think I can beat? Can I pull at places where it's only one or two females? No, if I go someplace and there's no females, then I'll pull a men's class because I love the sport and I'm in it to pull and to excel in it and grow in it, not just to win. You get what I'm saying? So I took the match. When the high five guys offered me this, because they're always offering me amazing opportunities because they're amazing humans, hell yeah, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And make it happen. Because things like you said, things like this don't happen every day. And I love this sport, and it's the love of the sport that is the reason the sport is still here, because the money and the popularity and all that crap that sometimes go on now, that shit comes and goes, but it's the people that care and love the sport, the Brazinks, the Gabbies, the Sarahs. It's those things that keep the sport alive, and if I can contribute to that or have a small stake in it, that's a blessing for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Couple things. One, Katie Marie, awesome puller. I'm a big fan of her. She's a
Yeah,
big fan of
straight
you. She's
cover.
having trouble trying to comment. So I'm going to just say, Katie, if you go to my YouTube channel under the live section, you'll see the show, and down at the bottom where it says chat, you should be able to comment. She's trying to, but she can't. So, trying to help her out. Second of all, this sport is like a family. You know that, and I know that.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's
you said
family ever.
pressure. It just so happens my uncle in the sport, Mr. Andrew Rhodes, says pressure creates diamonds. Okay,
Facts.
there you go.
He's the
Pressure
best.
creates
Thank you for watching.
diamonds, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's fact. Pressure does create diamonds, you know. Half the time, I don't know how I accomplish what I accomplish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't lift weights like everyone. I don't, do get to train with people like everyone does. But I know that I feel pressure and I act on that pressure. And at times, a lot of times, it works out for me. So I completely agree. You know, I mean, who knows if I was able to just, compete all the time and have nothing to worry about? Who knows if I would have even taken this seriously? Who knows if I would have had just, taken it as a hobby or something? I don't know. But when you work hard for something, you value it more. It means more to you. You know what I mean? So the pressure is good. Like I want like American women to have their super teams just like Sweden and all them have. So I want to if I could spearhead that, let's do it because I want it to happen. I want like, our little American Avengers and stuff. I'm ready for it. So I'm there for the pressure, I'm a New Yorker. I don't back down. I don't run from people. I don't run from things. So I'm all for it. Pressure is something I'm used to being under.
Right. Now, you have a busy schedule coming up next year. So you have the match in January. You said you have Alabama State's coming up. You got this secret match coming up you can't talk about later in the year. And I get it. I really do get it. I get it. Who is, if there's one, maybe two women out there that you really want to say, I got to test myself? Because as arm wrestlers, we all athletes, we always got that one person. It doesn't matter if it's arm wrestling, UFC, whatever. There's always that one person, maybe two, that you got to sit there and go, man, you play that what if game. Either I want to crack at that person or I want another shot at that person. Who might that be for you?
Well, I'm getting a shot at Carolina. That was really great because before I accepted my match with Knuckles Up, I was possibly going to pull her in April, and that was pulled from me. So, Carolina was always one. You know what I mean? Which, you know what? To be honest, had I maybe pulled her then, I probably would have got creamed. And who knows how it's going to go? But I feel I have a better shot now than I would have then. So everything happens for a reason. And then the next person would, of course, be the fantabulous Nadia, because I know Nadia's after my ass, and she's like, she's a fucking beast. So Nadia's another one. I know she's coming for me. She tells me all the time. So Nadia is definitely another one that I would definitely love to pull. And yeah, that's about it right now. Those are the ones that I feel would give me a lot of trouble. And then, of course, maybe a few in different other weight classes because, weight classes are just weight classes. But yeah, that's the two if I was naming them. I'm going to see Carolina soon. And then Nadia, who I know if I don't get to her first, she's definitely going to get to me. Like, I wait every day for the, hey, so your super match with Nadia, are you ready? Because I know she's not playing about that.
Now,
So
I'm not trying to stir nothing up there, Mirlene. I'm not trying to stir nothing up, but one has to think, okay, Mirlene, Nadia, when you get that type of level, you got to go, okay, we can always play devil's advocate. Who, promotion-wise, would put on that match? It's a match that you don't have to travel out of the country to have. That'd be kind of stupid, right? But who would have that kind of match? One would think, right?
who else? Who else? One of the most ultimate elite organizations of North America. Okay, the High Five guys at Knuckles Up. I'm sure. Listen, if if I had that match, it would be for them. Okay, all right. I'm not even like, as arm wrestlers, we should never be limited to who and where we pull. But
Agreed.
they would definitely get that from me. You know what I mean? They would have my super loyalty. I'd be like, oh, let me see what Will and Chris got going on first, because those are my people. Okay, they are just top notch to me. So I would see them doing it. Because
Oh, there it is.
who's to say they haven't been thinking about it? You know, like, come
We
on now,
don't
they're
know.
super people. They're super people. Or do I know? I don't know. But those guys were the best. So, like I said, a lot of the matches that you want to see and you want to hear and watch, they're the guys who's putting it on. Tim too. Tim does that. But Nadia pulls out of Jersey. She
Mhm.
pulls with them. She trains with the high five. So it would kind of be weird if anyone else was like, "Oh, hey, Nadia." You know what I mean? Like, Nadia's on the card with me on January 25th, pulling another monster. So it's like, those people are top notch.
Wouldn't it be
They're great
fitting?
at spotting good people.
No, they're awesome at that. Wouldn't that be fitting if January 25th comes around and Knuckles up 5 and you got your match coming up and then you see Nadia in the stands watching?
She's definitely gonna be there because she's got a match too. Yeah, for sure.
You guys are going to be
And
walking
we
to the
and
match.
we actually got to pull at the last event that the one I catered. Um, Knuckles Up 4. And
How'd
listen,
that
that
go?
woman, she was like, boom, boom, beating my behind in a hook all the time. So it would be real interesting. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
She's
like I
strong.
said,
She's a beast.
and she's been to Knuckles Up before. So have you. The two of you on the same card with different matches. If I'm just doing the math right, at some point, collision course, right?
Oh yeah. And remember, there's big events coming up afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, all these qualifiers are leading to a main event, that everyone should be watching and tuning into. Return
Right.
of the Arnolds, you know what I mean? There's different opportunities which they oversee. There's different opportunities for some big things in North America, things that everybody coming together and, pushing people that deserve to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, that's why I love them so much. They're so great at identifying people that should get a shot. Like, you and Paul and Paul Passmore, and so many people that are like beastly and champions that may have beaten a million people, but everyone acts like it never happened, or it wasn't that big of a deal then, but now it's a big deal if they pull somebody else. Like the Knuckles guys, they're hardworking. They use a lot of themselves to promote other people. They treat people like royalty. They're just great human beings. So I'll
And like I
always be
said, I
loyal
like
to
the
them.
swag they got. So you've been there. So, and I've heard stories because my my co-star on my other show, Cam Connection, Ryan Espy's been on that show before, on that card. And you know, you go there, they greet you and stuff. I'm thinking, man, they treat y'all like straight up, top tier athletes.
Well,
Like,
listen, there is nothing we don't need. What was it that I asked him for? I asked him when I was there the last time. Like, these people are insane. So when I went to cater for them, they were like, "You need anything? We got you." I was like, "No, I'm good, man. Maybe just." They were like, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Not really." You know what I mean? Because pressure was on. I was just like, I gotta make sure the food comes out right. I'm in like my own little chop kitchen. I was like, I gotta figure this out. And so I was just like, "Hey, do you guys think you could maybe get me like a milkshake?" You know what I'm saying? And they were like, "Yeah, sure." Chris comes to the door. This dude has like two extra large milkshakes, three different types of cookies, two different types of cakes, and he's like, "Yeah, you didn't get to eat, but maybe here you have a variety." Because I felt bad because you didn't get dinner. And I was like I wasn't even competing. I was there, technically working for them, and they were still taking care of me. You know what I mean? They're just good at taking care of people. Like, if you've ever experienced them, you understand. Like, I know the last event, one of the athletes were like, yeah, they were talking about their country and stuff like that, but they were just like, I want to return and pull for these people. And everyone unanimously has that feeling once you've been in any part of their event. Like, I was even thinking like, oh man, because I like my bling, and I was just like, man, you know what would happen if I got like a little knuckles up ring or something, a little knuckles up necklace or something, you know what I'm saying? Because I just love those people. I was just like, I'm gonna manifest being their female representative because I freaking love them. They're just good humans and they treat people with respect. And it's like, it's top notch. Even if it doesn't go your way, like when I lost in January, like they still take care of you. They still believe in you. They still, do right by you, and that meant everything. You know what I mean? That was one of the things that kept me going because I got a lot of hate after that match, believe it or not. A lot of hate. But
That's
I
the problem
also
right
got
now.
but I also got a lot of unsuspecting people hitting me up. Like, I think even like one of the messages I remember was Badgett, and he was like, failures or losses depends, like whether you're a champ or not depends on what you do next. Like, little people that I wouldn't even expect hitting me up and giving me words of wisdom and being fueled by other things. Those are what got me to the point where I'm at now. So like all that support, everything, it doesn't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? It means a lot.
I'm gonna tell you something. You see this bracelet I got on? I have it every time anybody sees me. It's on here, right? It's either orange or it's blue. And I'm gonna show y'all something because what you just said rings true. What does that say? Failure
Failure
is
is
not
not final.
it's not final. That's something my son wrote in one of his notebooks during school back in middle school, right? He was doing a report, and that was one of his sayings. So we all got bracelets made. So that statement now means a lot more. So when you go there, failure is not final. So there you go. Just like you said. And Katie Marie, she's still having trouble trying to log in, maybe log out, log back in. Sometimes the mobile app is kind of wackadoo. So, Katie, if you're listening, if you got a question for Mirlene, text me and I'll relay that to her. Now, High Five says, got to make sure our champ eats. She rocked that dinner. If you need any catering for your events, reach out to Mirlene. She's in New York. So there you go. Right?
He's the best fan.
Again, multi-talented, by the way,
Thank you.
And one thing you said that kind of, made me think, because everyone in this sport is different, right? We're not all built the same. We don't all train the same, right? Not everybody, is 6'5", not everybody is 120 pounds or whatever. We all come in this sport different shapes and sizes, right? So you're going to have some people who are taller than others, some people stronger than others, some people shorter than others, whatever the case may be. And I think what makes this sport, awesome is the fact that there is not one particular way to train. There is not one particular style to have. There's multiple styles, and you got to find a style that fits you the most. Now, I'm not going to try to sit there and dissect what you do and give out all your secrets, that kind of stuff. But you said when you made the comment about training, you don't get to train a whole lot. You fit it in when you can because you're also a single parent. You also run a business, so you got to find time to do that. We can go on and on about the training thing about, hey, if you're on this side of the fence, it's John Brezink, it's table time. If you're on that side of the fence, it's, Todd Zilla and Michael Todd, weights, whatever the case may be, Now for you, lately, you've been putting the work in, but that wasn't always the case. So explain how you really got to find a balance in life and training to get ready for these upcoming matches.
Yeah. So I read somewhere that every single time you do something that your body really doesn't want to do, you create new neurons in your brain, new pathways. Yeah. Right. And so if I have to work, like for instance, the last 2 weeks where I've been working doubles, like last week I clocked out at 77 hours. I was at the gym every morning beforehand. I didn't want to be. You know what I mean? But I was there. And I never really lifted weights. I might lift some dumbbells. I was like 15 pounds. But I increased my weight. Clearly, we've been seeing some new cuts. You know what I'm saying?
I've been seeing
But like,
the
I
shoulder
got
curves.
some growth, some growth. You know what I'm saying? But it's because growth comes outside the comfort zone. If I'm trying to reach a new level and something that I care about, I won't reach it by doing something that I normally do. So when I train, what I'm trying to train for, especially when it comes to Carolina, strength, of course, you know what I mean? Because it's great to be fast, but you got to be strong. And endurance, you know what I mean? And I think endurance has a lot to do with heart too. So how far and how much are you willing to fight for or push for what it is that you want? You know what I mean? If you're missing a couple of hours because you got to go to the gym of sleep, if you're sore every day, but knowing that, you know, you're going to be that much stronger, is it worth it? It's a lot to balance motherhood and running things and having a business, and like it's so much, you know what I mean? But I feel if I wasn't capable of doing it, it wouldn't be mine to do. So it's really a matter of a choice. How
Right.
important is it to me? And it's pretty fucking important, you know what I mean? So that's how I balance it. I have to choose, you know, what it is that I want to do, because I could make an excuse for bullshit. But
Yeah.
what if I make an excuse to push myself to do what I need to do to achieve the goals that I'm trying to achieve? And I choose that. You know, I choose to go after it. So the balance is really, others might say it's not balanced. They might say, oh, you need to sleep more, or you need to do this. But, you know, I will, when hopefully I get the result that I want. And if I don't get the result that I want, then that means I'm just going to train even harder to get the result that I want the next time. Because that's not going to be a reason to give up then either.
So
You know what I mean?
I got a question for you. Are you on your phone right now?
I am.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do. The forecast for your match against Carolina. Give me 2 thumbs up. Give me 2 thumbs up. You know,
Okay.
it's supposed to, it's supposed to be a thunderstorm. Give me 2 thumbs up. But I guess you didn't
Ah.
get close enough. But
Oh, yeah, my bad.
yeah. But I will say this because
Give mommy hold on. Give mommy 2 seconds, okay?
oh
Okay, come on. Come on.
yes,
Welcome our other special guest. Come on. Let's try
unscripted.
to be in the car. No crying.
Welcome to the
Everyone.
show.
Eliana.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Okay.
Welcome
There
to
you
the
go.
show.
All right.
Um,
Okay, mommy's right here. You got mommy right here.
I will say this, Mirlene.
All right. Hold on 1 second, okay?
I will say this because, as you know, and as everybody knows, I'm a big fan of ladies arm wrestling. Right? You know this. And
Mm.
when I see
Big is one of
videos,
the biggest supporters.
yes, when I see videos, whether it be you, Sarah Ray, Liz, Danielle, who will be my guest next Monday, by the way, Danielle.
Love Danielle, that monster. That's another monster, and she's
Yes,
another one that I know is giving me a run for my money too. She's phenomenal, and she's
yes,
super strong,
very.
very
So
inspiring.
when I see you ladies in the gym and stuff, you're actually putting the work in because in years past, we had a lot of posers. All they want to do is just look at this, look at that. But then they get on the table, it's like all the photos you put and all that kind of stuff. And this is the result we're going to get. But, those 4 ladies I just mentioned, just for example, I see you ladies putting in the work, which means you guys are taking it seriously. That's what we want. So if I'm looking at it, this is where if I'm an inspiring lady arm wrestler, if I'm coming up, and there's other awesome pullers out there that don't post anything, but they're well respected. You get the Leanne Wilsons, the Jolene Andersons of the world, well respected. Paige Williams, anybody, Madison Walker, the list goes on and on. Well
Oh
respected
wow!
ladies well respected ladies. Now, those last things I just mentioned, you may not see them on social media working out, but trust me, they're working hard. So I get this, when you talk about Katie Marie coming back from injury, yourself coming back from injury, Amanda with the, Carolina Chaos down there putting in work. I see
Oh
y'all
yeah!
putting and I appreciate that.
I'm
You
coming
know.
back, Mom. Okay, okay.
So my question to you is: any lady coming into the sport, what advice do you have for them? Uh-oh. A stumper.
My advice to them is my advice to them is we all, us all true women of arm wrestling, the ones that have been here for years, over a decade, all of that stuff, we welcome you. We don't we welcome you. We want you in the sport. If you lose, it's okay. Keep on going. We're all a family and we all support each other. The ones that are real veterans and have been in this sport and actually care about it, we are a whole unit. Even though we compete, we train to become a strong force because that's what I feel we lack here in America. You know what I mean? The ladies of Sweden and other countries, they're able to train, they're able to compete, but they still love each other, they still support each other. When one goes, the other rides behind them. And that's how we, majority of us, not the minority, the majority of us are here in North America. So if you do meet some adversity, if you do meet, you know, a random person that's aggressive or in a negative way after a match or something like that, just keep pushing through because all of us other people, we love that you're in the sport and we can't wait to meet you and pull with you and train with you and hear about what you got going on and all that stuff. That would be my advice, you know what I mean? Because I'm just now starting to do the videos and the pictures and the stuff like that because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. Like, I literally have people that act like I've only been in this sport maybe a year or two when I've been in for over a decade, when I've pulled other world champions, when I've pulled other people outside the US. They act like I'm brand new because I haven't been the type to know how to make all these TikToks and I haven't gotten all these sponsors and I haven't, but that didn't mean that the work I put in meant nothing. When if I go to a tournament and I won, like the first time that I met Angie, that just let me know that even though I wasn't out there everywhere, I love you, Angie, by the way. She's always kicking my ass. But that let me know that in my own way, the work that I was putting in, it's gonna be great to meet you too, Nancy. Oh my god, legend, love her.
Yes.
Can't
World
wait, can't wait.
world
Oh my god,
champion.
like I fangirl so freaking much. Like it's too much. It's too much for me because I like love these women. Anyway, so
World champion will be in the house. Yes.
so
Nancy.
crazy, so crazy. I can't wait. It's so crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't really promoting myself or being out there. I'm just now starting to do that. So it's like, if you're not that person, that's okay. Like I said, even me, I'm trying to like come up with a screen that I can do with on my match so that I could get, fierce and fired up. Like everyone's different. You know what I mean? And it's okay if you're not a bitch. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like us, that's my advice. Be yourself. Like the world has a bunch of characters already. Be yourself. Know that if you lose, it's okay. Know that you have women that'll support you. Like I know a lot of people because they reached out to me. Katie was one of the people that reached out to me. You know what I mean? I've spoken with Danielle for so long before I met her at that round robin. You know what I mean? Like that's female American arm wrestling. We are all like supportive of each other, even if we want to pull each other. We all, know that this is a passion that we all share. And my dream, yes, is to be on an international level, an international stage, but it's also to really build like a North America Avengers. Like I want a group of women. Like I want to be hosted at in another nation. Like, hey, everyone from Greece, these are the North American arm wrestlers that we flew in. Like I want to be one of them. That's like my goal. You know what I mean? Like because as I'm older, there is so many people I want to help. Like there is never a time when someone says hits me up, and I've even had guys, hey, look at this match. What do you think I could do different? You know, how do you think about this? The way I did this top roll, you know, whether it's guy or female, and I'm always willing to help because I'm always willing to learn from other people, and that's what arm wrestling is. It's a synergy of never ending pulling and learning, pulling and learning, pulling and learning. That's why you harm yourself or you take away from yourself if you start to cherry pick. If you start to say, oh, there's a bunch of women I don't really want to pull. Or let's say you go to a competition and there's two women in your class and another woman in another weight class and you don't want to pull in overalls. Like coming into the sport, that was my main goal. Like, yeah, it was great if I won my class, but I want to win overalls because that's where the top ladies were. You know what I mean? So that's what I went for. You know what I mean? And then having good people behind you. Like I never really pulled men's classes till one day, you know, Adam, the captain, was just like, dude, pull a men's class. Like you're not gonna not pull. And that's what arm wrestling is pushing yourself, testing yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, and then being surprised when you have amazing people that support you along the way. And another thing, this is the sport that losing is not losing. All right, John has not won 100% of all his matches, but let me tell you something. If he loses a match, good luck beating him a second time. Like he always comes back. Look at Michael Todd. Like everybody comes back. So it's like even if you lose, you can still come back, and that's like the best, you know. So my advice is,
I'm glad you brought that up. First of all, sponsored by Chapstick. No, not really. But here's my question, right? So here's the thing, right? And this is why I respect a lot of you ladies out there and guys too, because the fact that we all know deep down, you know, you see somebody, you kind of go, man, I want to pull that person. I want to know where I stack up with them. You line yourself up. Like I said, it's all about opportunity, right? So you got matches lined up. The next two are very vital and important to you. You know, I got other ladies out there. They got matches lined up in the next coming months. Very important to them. So you don't know until you know. So we'll take, I don't know, we'll take my Oregonian, Nancy Nations, for example. Waffle World champion, by the way. You know, always want to know, hey, I need to test myself. Whether she's going to Budapest or whatever the case may be, Bulgaria, what have you. She went over there, tested herself. Okay, now I know what it's all about. Cody Merritt, another Waffle World champion, went over there, tested the waters. Now he knows where he wants to stand. It's the same thing with you girls here.
Get out the street.
Whether it be East versus West, King of the Table, or even a big promotion that's here.
Ali, get over here.
They put you somewhere where you got to go, okay, how do I
either stay here or don't? Repeat that last sentence. I apologize. My child's being a child. But you were saying that last part. After Cody. Repeat the after Cody WAF champion, great guy part.
I was saying that you want to test yourself, and it doesn't matter what promotion you go at a high level, East versus West, King of the Table, even the big time promoters here, you know, they put you on center stage, you know, Knuckles up, Chris Entertainment, Montana Armbender, the Texas the group down there. List goes on and on, you know. You really don't know until you know. So with this being said, you know, I tell everybody out there, don't worry about wins and losses. If you're so concerned about wins and losses, then maybe this ain't the sport for you.
Nope.
And I'm not going to be mean, but you're going to take an ass whooping here and there. But you know what? In return, you're going to give out some ass whoopings also. So that's the whole point of that. So what's your response to that?
I 100% agree. I 100% agree because, you know, I know now since things have gotten more mainstream, you know, people think it's about being a character or being a dick. Or if you say, let's say I win first place, now I'm too good to pull other people. That's not what this type of sport is. The whole point of the sport is to pull people. So if you're finding yourself at a point where the only, like, how and I'm gonna be real with you right now, Jody. How can anyone really feel good about any wins, okay, if you didn't really have to push yourself? Like imagine if me, right, Mirlene, went to a tournament, there was nobody there, and I just took the medal. How would I be proud of that? How would I be really proud if I went to a tournament and I pulled one person. Let me tell you something. When I got third place in that guys class,
Mhm.
that was one of my biggest like triumphs. Like because I push myself. You know what I mean? Like that was something outside my comfort zone. That's a real win. I know a lot of times now, and I don't care if I hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, we got a lot of tournaments everywhere, and everywhere has like opportunities to be a champion. A million champions everywhere. But let's say when I go someplace, let's say it's a bar anywhere,
Mhm.
and Paul can tell you, and I tell them I'm a female arm wrestler. What's the first thing a guy wants to do?
Let's see
You
what you
know, you know how many guys I've arm wrestled because of my shirt, the I Love Arm Wrestling shirt. I know. Baby, mommy's talking, okay? You know how many times I've had to arm wrestle people, and guess I'm able to do that because I'm an actual arm wrestler. If I was to go somewhere and say, "Yeah, guys, I'm a national champion," you know what national champion means? National champions means I'm a champion of a nation in the nation. So a national champion, should be able to pull in a class that has more than two people if they want to say they're a national champion. A national champion, especially if you're American, should be able to go to anyone outside of the US and say, "Hey, I'm a national champion and I want to pull you from Sweden. I want to pull you from Bulgaria because I'm a national champion. And now I want to be a North American champion or I want to be a world champion." But that's what champions mean. Champions doesn't mean you pull when it's easy for you or just claim injury when it's not, and then you're saying I'm a national champion. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with there. There's a lot of responsibility. Oh, love you, bro. Listen, that man, he's a beast. He's always lighting that fire in me. If I could channel an inner Shane, sorry, ADHD. If I can channel an inner Shane when I pull, no one would be able to stop me. Anyway, so yeah, if I'm going around telling people that I'm a female arm wrestler, I got to be able to represent. That means I got to put in the work. That means I got to go when I'm at these tournaments and pull. Even if I pull an amateur class or a men's class or like an amateur men's class or a regular men's class or whatever, like I got to pull. Okay. I would never be satisfied with myself if I cherry picked what I pulled, when I pulled, where I pulled. I cannot go around and say I'm a arm wrestling champion. I can't.
Well, here, can I stop you for a second? I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that
So
the Nationals now ain't the Nationals 10, 15 years ago, right? We know this. And since
I
we're
mean,
being
every state has a national champion now, kind of like state
well,
championships and stuff like that. Like,
right. But my point being, and since we're being honest, this is where I might get crucified for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's my show.
you're real.
So here's the thing. Where I just came from, the World Series of Arm Wrestling, right? The finals in San Diego. Cody Merritt, you've been there. You know what that's about. Paul Stevens, he's in the chat. He knows what that's about.
Shout out to Greg Sharp, also doing great
Yeah.
big things for the sport.
Amanda,
Great guy, great guy.
Yeah, Amanda, she
Mm-hmm.
was there. She knows. I can't tell you that the array of talent, okay, hear me out. The array of talent that was there at the finals that day resembles a Nationals. I'm not going to say it is a national. I'm not going to say that because I don't want people getting all pissed off and everything. But that tournament with the array of talent that was there in each, there were some killers in each class, men and women. Didn't matter what weight class, left hand, right hand, your mama's hand, whatever. The array of talent was like off the charts. That resembled a nationals that we don't have anymore at the ones that's called. It's unfortunate because of all the corruption and all that kind of shit. And yes, I do want to sit there one of these days and say, hey, I've come close. I've come close to a national. I've finished top 3 at a nationals. Hell, I finished top 2 at a IFA Worlds, but I knew the situation. All right, I'm proud of it because I did what I had to do, but I understood the situation. And hopefully this sport will get back to where it once was. Where hey, if you make some noise in a stacked class, guess what? Now your peers will know what's going on. You don't have to always, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. I mean, everyone does it. Hey, I took third here. I took fourth here. Hey, I did good for myself, this, that, and the other. That's cool. But you don't have to always repeat yourself over and over and over and over again because your peers will know. And that's what it comes.
The results will show it. And there's so many people that'll like if you notice, I don't even half the times like you were like, oh, you're gonna be at Alabama States. Did you see me saying I'm gonna be at Alabama States? Because half the time, if you say you're gonna be at a tournament, it's so sad how many people are like, oh, well then I'm not going there. Oh, well, I'm not gonna pull because I might lose anyway. So half the time I'm not even saying where I'm going, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Because people shouldn't not pull just because somebody's in the class or be worried about it. Like, you don't know what'll happen. A lot of these people that I've won against, it's been, people that I would never say I'd be able to win against. But I gave it all I got and I got lucky. Or my skills were great that day. I don't know. And I was fortunate to win. Okay. Because I can't say luck because hard work is hard work. But, I was fortunate to win that day. The cards lined up in my favor. But imagine, last year, I was encountering so many champions. I couldn't even breathe. For that tournament when I met Angie, I literally couldn't swallow the entire tournament. I couldn't even swallow spit. I couldn't drink a water. I couldn't do nothing. But I pulled her. I had met Michelle earlier that year. And I didn't know till I got there. So it's
okay.
But
there are some ladies out there who feel the same way you do about them as they are to you. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Meaning that you said you couldn't swallow. I couldn't swallow spit. I couldn't swallow water because of Angie Rose.
Yeah, that's crazy. No one should be scared of me. That's just me.
You don't know that though. You don't know that.
That's crazy.
Because honestly,
that's what I'm saying. I encourage them to pull anyway, because you never know.
Well, this is why I started the show with you about go back in time because you were a badass. I mean, this is back. If Gary Roberts ever, updated ArmTV the way he did, there's plenty of footage. White Castle, Queensboro tournaments that you were in at a mere 16, 17 years old, whooping everyone's ass, right? But a lot of
but no one really. The only people that ever. Maybe I've always just seen myself as a normal person because the only people that ever really saw it as a big deal was my people. You know what I'm saying? Even now, after winning the round robin, there are some people that say I don't even deserve a match with Carolina. So you're always gonna have haters. I've never really seen myself as someone that people should be scared of because I never really got that kind of recognition. That's kind of why, except for the people that supported me, but of course they're your teammates. Of course they're going to support you. You know what I mean? They're from back in the day too, like the New York people and stuff. Of course they're going to support me. They're my teammates that train with me. Of course they're going to support me, like Chaos and all of them. It does make me feel good when they support me, but it's I'm just me, just putting in work. Right? Yeah, just putting in the work and hoping that, it works out well for me. This year and a little bit last year, but mostly this year, I've definitely let more of my personality show. I've definitely traveled more and linked up with the women more because I'm just I'm older. There's nothing I should be scared about. And but even before I did that, everyone was always, for the majority, welcoming to me. You know what I mean?
You said we all have haters. We do. You want to know what that stands for? Haters. Having anger towards everyone reaching success.
Yeah.
That is what that means, everybody. Y'all see that? We all have haters out there. I'm gonna go ahead and put it real close. Haters. Having anger towards everyone reaching success. That's just the way it is. And you know what? Fuck them. Oops. Is your daughter still in the car?
Huh?
Is your daughter still in the car?
Oh, no, she's not.
Okay. Fuck
Plus, her mom's a New Yorker. I'm sure she hasn't.
I'm telling you what.
I mean, first time she heard that word.
Damn that. Because, look, there should be no reason why somebody should be hating other people.
Exactly. There's so much energy wasted in the wrong direction to hate on somebody else. Like it's crazy because anyone who knows me knows I'm the nicest fucking person, but I've had people saying that I'm a nobody, I'm nothing, I don't deserve this match with Carolina, and I always say, hey, how about you prove it to me by pulling me? If you can't pull me, then shut the fuck up. And just that's just it. That's the story. Either pull me or you're irrelevant. So,
Well, here's the thing.
in hindsight, I'm excited about my matches. And that's
Well,
why I'm so honored that Carolina gave me a shot because she didn't need to. Okay, she definitely could have been like, no, what national title? I mean, because I have national titles, but what world title has Mirlene ever won? Like, who is she? I'm too good for that. But Carolina, she is this phenomenal. I don't know how if she's rude to people. I've never seen it, but I've never met her. But she doesn't look like she's rude to people. Like she just looks like I love this sport. I love to represent my country. I'm pulling everybody, and I'm doing a great job at it. So I really appreciate her honoring me and allowing me this opportunity. You know what I mean?
yep.
That's just so phenomenal. Like it's really phenomenal because, like I said, I was doing that, like winning these people when I was younger. Yet I qualified for worlds a couple times, I believe, but I never was able to go college, young life, whatever. But I still never had these sort of opportunities. You know what I mean? Even coming back in, some are like, yeah, Merlene's a legend. Yeah, Merlene's been doing this and that, but not everyone's quick to jump and say, yeah, you pulled this elite person and you pulled that elite person. Like, the first time I even got this opportunity, I got a chance to meet Paul Lynn, amazing human and mentor too. And he was just like, yeah, man, you're different. You're phenomenal. That means a lot. That was just like, okay, so maybe I am a little strong, maybe I can pull other people. Like and those little things help. So now finally getting the opportunity to pull Carolina, to pull Yoshiko, to meet people like Nancy in Washington and encounter these people and meet them in real life like Angie and oh my god, I've seen Sarah so many times. I've seen like Gabby twice. I almost die every time because I love them so much. It's like it's so cool. Like this is the only sport where you can literally walk around the Jordans and the freaking LeBrons like it's nobody's business, like it's nothing, or you even train with them. You know what I mean? And that's so exceptional. I love it. I love this sport. And I'm just ready to prove to myself that all this work, holding on to this sport, pushing through all the negativity and all the attacks and shit like that, I need to prove it to myself that it was worth it. You
Let
know
me
what I
tell you,
mean?
I'm gonna get real for a second, and you could tell I'm about to get serious when I start talking in a low tone voice. So, in the grand scheme of things, everybody, you've heard me say this before. I'm sure people in the chat have heard me say this statement before. Everybody has a different path in the sport, okay? And I think, when some people throw out the word hater and stuff like that, one may sit there and go, why is there hate coming toward my way? And I just showed you guys that picture, what it tells. But, you got to understand this. Everybody has their own path, but, and this goes for everybody. Do not let one or many people derail your path. That's all I'm trying to say, right? So that's all in a nutshell. That's because I've endured a lot of that stuff too. The last year and a half, 2 years. I'm sure you have. There's some other people that have. At the end of the day, it's a sport. We love to get involved in. We love to push ourselves, make friends along the way. That kind of stuff.
Family.
Right, family, right? So it's a fraternity for some, a sorority for others, and at the end of the day, what it comes down to, we're trying to make each other better, not break each other down. You know what I mean? And with all the nonsense that goes on lately, and I wasn't even going to get into this, I'm not going to, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that you know what, I can't worry about what goes on here, what goes on there. I got to what's ahead of me right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just block all the other stuff out. Doesn't matter, and just keep going. But then again, and I'll say this, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but Mirlene, Big Brother's talking for a second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The more you respond to that negativity, the more they're gonna keep coming back. Remember that, okay?
Yeah, that's why I don't respond to it at all. In fact, I have responded The same way I responded at that round robin, the same way I respond in the gym. I use it to fuel me. So I do appreciate them. You know, life's about balance. I do appreciate the people, even though it may not be pleasant to experience it until I block it. I do appreciate the people that fuel me. You know what I mean? Because that's how I choose to use that. I go, you know what? If that bothers you so much, then do one more rep. You know,
Yeah.
do an extra set. You know, lift a heavier weight. And that's what I've been doing. And my whole body has transformed. So I'm really excited to see what happens within the next couple months because like I said, that round robin was
Mhm.
a taste of Mirlene. And even for that I didn't even train half of the
And
stuff
you know
I'm
what?
doing now.
And
So
this is where you may disagree with me. You know, this is just me though, because high competition, right? And I said this earlier in the show. Hey, there were some ladies that are supposed to be there that didn't make it there. So for you, it's more like, okay, I won, but it's like, there's always, yeah, but so and so wasn't there.
exactly.
Yeah, but so and so wasn't there. So there's always the
Yes.
yeah, but. Whereas,
Yep.
if this opportunity in a couple weeks comes to you, and I'll be in your corner, by the way, if this opportunity comes to you and you're able to squeeze out a victory, hell, if you could take her to the limit, make her work, the respect will be there.
That'll be great.
You
I'm
know?
I'm that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping like I give it all I got and it's a war. It's not a
Oh,
flash.
guess who just chimed in? Ha ha ha. Danielle says, Murr, I want to
Ah,
see
I
you on
love
the
you.
phone. So here's
I
Danielle.
know. I'm trying to have Danielle be my personal trainer. If she's my personal trainer and I can start doing all this she does, that's it. I'm gonna go to Bulgaria myself. Like she's such a beast. I love her so much.
And by the way, everybody in the chat, if you're listening, because I love the ladies, and we're going to keep this thing rolling with the women. That's right. Next Monday, December 2nd, we're going to kick things off, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Miss Danielle will be a
Can't wait
guest
to
on my
watch you.
show. If you want to talk about power, strength, endurance,
Awesome
persistence,
human
she's the person to
personality,
talk to.
everything.
And I'm going to have her on the
Hmm.
show so that way we could talk about what she has in store for the year 2025. So, Danielle, sister, I can't wait. I'm excited to have you on the show next week. Now, with that being said, girlfriend, we've been on the show for about an hour and 12 minutes, and I know you got the little one probably ready to go home or whatnot, but you know what, though? I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose so you can go ahead and do the family thing, but I do want to say thank you so much for taking time out to be on the show
Thank you
today.
for having me, bro. Thank you for having me. You support the females so hard, it's ridiculous. You always get down to the nitty gritty and the truth. Like one of the realest podcasters. It's an honor to be on your show today. So thank you so much, and thank you again for being in my corner. You know, because hopefully as a female knuckles up representative, Chris and Will, which means I should be at every single event for whatever reasons y'all choose to make up. If and when my bro's on there, because he's a monster, and I know you guys are gonna put him on one, I gotta be there for him too. Just saying, love y'all. That's my KU plug. You know, everyone that supports me, I'll do my best. I'm gonna bring my best. Carolina, thank you. Yoshiko, thank you. Everybody, thank you. I love y'all. I'm gonna head out. Peace
All right,
out.
sister. Enjoy the rest of Monday, and
You
happy
too.
Thanksgiving to you down there. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
You too.
Enjoy yourself. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye, bro.
Take care. Take care.